Well, sorry to leave that so abruptly, but we are, because we're heading to Woolwich Crown Court, because the jury in the trial of 3 Birmingham men have just started to return their verdicts at the court. So let's go to our Home Affairs correspondent, June Kelly, who is there. And June, tell us more.
Well, Matthew, we have 3 men in the dock here. They're accused of plotting a suicide bombing campaign in the UK, and the jury are just about to bring in their verdicts. Now, they have a whole 12 counts to go through, but from what we're hearing from our colleagues inside court, the ringleader in this plot, a man called Irfan Nasir, he has been found guilty of a number of terrorism charges so far. We're awaiting a verdict on the plotting the suicide bombing campaign, but he's certainly been found guilty of collecting money for terrorism, going to Pakistan for terrorism training, and also sending other people to Pakistan for terrorism training. As I say, there's a lot of counts to come in, but he is the key figure in this plot because he has always been described as the ringleader. Just to give a bit of a recap on this whole case, these men were arrested some 18 months ago, all born and brought up in Birmingham. They've been on trial here since last October. The jury began deliberating last week and have suddenly come back in the last few minutes and say they do have verdicts, but we're still waiting verdicts on some of the key charges. We just have partial verdicts at the moment.
June, as you say, there are a number of indictments, but just on the screen that I am seeing, just the latest also coming from the court, that the 3 men have been found guilty at the court of being, quote, central figures in a terrorist bomb plot.
Right, well, that is the key charge they were facing. And what the jury heard during this trial was that by blowing themselves up, they were planning to cause mass deaths and casualties on the streets of the UK. The jury also heard they hadn't talked about any specific targets or locations, but one of them, Ashiq Ali, told police when he was interviewed by them that they had talked about killing British soldiers. But as I say, this is the result of a massive counter-terrorism operation involving both the security service MI5 and the West Midlands Police counter-terrorism unit. It's been a very long case, and now we have these guilty verdicts. Also, I should just say, 6 other men, associates of these men, have already pleaded guilty to terrorism charges.
And June, just tell us a little more about the police operation, but also the targets that these men were potentially looking at.
Well, what we know is that these men, the key man in this cell is the cell leader, Irfan Nasir. Together with his right-hand man, Irfan Khalid, they travelled to Pakistan for terrorism training. Now, they were on the radar of the security service MI5. When they came back to Birmingham, they started to try to recruit others to their terrorist cell. They went out onto the streets of their home city and they collected money, supposedly for charity. In fact, they were defrauding their home community because people thought they were giving to a charity, Muslim Aid, nothing at all to do with this plot. But in fact, they used this money to try to fund the plot. In fact, they lost a large amount of this money, but nevertheless, they defrauded their own community. And then what happened was the police and the security service became very concerned when they started buying components to make a device, and that is when they decided to move in on these men. The 3 men in the dock were arrested along with a whole group of others. As I say, 6 have already pleaded guilty to terrorism charges. These are the 3 characters, these figures in the dock today, and now we have guilty verdicts.
And June, more of those counts are coming in as we speak. Stay there, but we're just going to show our viewers some more of the background to this major police operation.
Vehicle about to be stopped in Lake Pool Road, over.
The climate